Hello, my tarot friends. Justin Michael. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome, of course, if it's your first time visiting. I appreciate you as always. We're going to take a look at the Tarot of Jaques Vieville by Artisan Tarot today. I feel like I should change the name of my channel to the Vieville channel or something like that, because I just feel like I'm always making a Vieville video. But this was just kindly sent to me from Will over at Artisan Tarot. Thank you very much for that. Very kind all the time. Always sending me what they're releasing and for review, and it's really nice. The Tarot of Jaques Vieville, as you know, is a very special deck to me, judging by the many Vieville videos I've done on this channel. It's a quirky deck. It's interesting. Has a unique character to it. Has a lot of cool mythology and little stories attached to the history of it. It doesn't quite fit in with the Tarot de Marseille, but yet it is relevant in terms of Tarot de Marseille history, being from France and having, very close kind of pattern to it. It also is, very similar to what we see in the Belgian packs, like the Van den Boer and the Adam C. de Auto, even though de Auto is a French pack, but yet the pattern known as the Rouen Brussels pattern is what I'm referring to, with the devil and all the Belgian cool stuff. So for me, it just is one of the more interesting decks. It's a deck that I constantly go back to a little too much lately. I'm kind of need a little bit break from Vieville after this, but it's a deck that I will forever love. They sent me a while back a promo deck, which was just kind of the one thing I can say about Will and Christina over at Artisan Tarot is that they like to get feedback from people, so they sent this deck with no other goal in mind other than getting feedback, which I thought was very generous of them, and also really cool. It was very kind of them. But they said, don't do a review of this deck. We just want to get your thoughts from it. And I thought it was adequate. I mean, but now that I got this deck, I think I like it a lot more. There were some cool things done with the color. I'm not going to do a comparison because this deck is not available anymore. It was just a promo. It was a test. There aren't many actually even in existence. But I don't want to confuse anyone, so I'm just going to stick with the deck they have. There were some extras that were sent to me as well. It comes with a bag, or at least there's a package available with this bag. I forgot. I think it's $93 for both the deck and the bag. It's a very well-made bag. Kind of reminds me of a little bit of what came with their Free No Blade, but it's much better quality than that. It's a very tough fabric. This would really take a beating, and it has a lot of padding too in it. You can fit the deck and box in there. It just sits a little snug, and I'm told that it's just designed for just a deck of cards without the box. I mean, either way, you can make it work. It's just a little snug with the box, but I don't even think I'm going to use the bag for this deck because I have so many other decks that I need bags for. So I'm going to just use this for something else. And it's really special. It really is. It's very nice. Comes in a standard tuck box. Nothing really fancy about the box. They focus more on card quality than they do on the box quality, which is something that I would much rather see anyway. It's more important that the cards are nice and not so much the box. But it's sometimes nice to get a nice box, but you're going to pay a little extra. For a deck at this price point, it's no surprise that it comes with a tuck box. But you do have the option of getting the bag, which makes it nice. The card quality is stellar, always from them. Very, very good quality cardstock. They use a company called Shuffled Ink, which is an American company. Everything's made here in the United States, and the cards just slide really well. It's very it's a pleasure to shuffle these cards. And Will, with his background in Magic, it's no surprise that he went with a card stock like that. So this little card is sort of the explanation of the deck. I'm going to just read it briefly. So this restoration is based on the 1650 tarot deck created by Jaques Vieville in Paris. The only known copy is preserved in the National Library of France, the Bibliothèque Nationale. Due to the age and craftsmanship, many details are indistinct. Conditions of the time required card makers to labor quickly under a strict work environment, which led to this deck's unique character. There are many uncertainties surrounding the production of these cards. Most of the images are mirrored compared to its contemporaries. The style of the artwork varies throughout the deck, and the placement of the numerals and the text suggests that they were added separately to the original design. It's probably true. This deck was digitally recreated by Christina Condor with the assistance of William Rader. They studied the images and researched their history to clarify and reveal hidden areas. To create consistency, the same color palette was used throughout the deck. The misaligned coloring was corrected, and details were also enhanced. Advances in card manufacturing have allowed this historic deck to be refined for the modern era. That's kind of fair. And, I like that they use the language, this restoration is based on the 1650 tarot deck, which is, gives you the liberty to kind of do whatever you want, because this is hundreds of years old. It's well within the public domain, and it can just stop the critics like right in their tracks if you say it's based on, rather than saying it's an exact copy or whatever. That's certainly the language I would use, and so I think they did right in doing that. So like I said, this other deck was sent to me, and it was like adequate, but the colors seem much nicer in this new version. You can see, like, for instance, there's like a gradient kind of quality to the colors, where they kind of blend together and mix up really nicely. The deck I'm going to kind of draw on here for a facsimile is compliments to Joseph H. Peterson. It's not an exact like museum facsimile, but it's pretty darn close. It's just been enhanced a little bit, but anyway, just to kind of give you an idea of what the original looks like. So the thing that Artisan Tarot does is, since their inception, since they've produced the Nicolas Convert, was that they wanted to kind of clean up the Tarot de Marseille, make it a little more attractive. They did it with the Nicolas Convert. It's a reader-friendly deck, and that's what you're getting here. You're not getting the exact piece of history. If you're a purist, if you're somebody who's obsessed with little details, this might not be the deck for you, but if you're somebody who is looking to have a little bit of fun and to read with the deck, a modernized version of Jaques Vieville, then this is certainly an option. Now, I previously showed by Midnight Tarot. They did a very playful restoration as well, but it was much more playful than this. This sticks more to like the traditional order and the traditional positioning. Like what Gergo did from Midnight Tarot was invert the images as if they were Tarot de Marseille, which I thought was a fun idea, but completely in the spirit of fun and in tarot reading, for the purpose of reading or whatever else you game playing, whatever. So that's kind of what they did here. It's just a cleaned up, modernized version. If you look at a woodblock image, you can see like there's a lot of imperfections in the line work because they were engraved. It was done with a knife and a piece of wood that was engraved. It wasn't drawn digitally like it is today. And you can see all the lines are very consistent and straight and clean, and that's what they're going for. Whereas in the woodblock, it's like every line is different. It's not the same. And they look kind of sloppy in that regard. And a lot of people don't like that about Tarot de Marseille, or about, this technically isn't a Tarot de Marseille, but, this style of deck. Woodblock tarot. But anyway, let's take a look at the cards. I mean, it's very cleaned up. You can see like the red here was completely eliminated. All the colors are inside the lines. I really think the colors look a lot better now. It has like a gradient quality to it, which Vieville has. I mean, it does have like a gradient quality to it anyway. It's just sort of elaborated and emphasized. So, but looks really good. So, I mean, I'm not going to talk at length about the images and the history and so forth. This is just a quick review. But if you're looking for a deck that is like a cleaned up, modernized version of the historic deck that you like, I think this would be a great deck for you, or certainly one of only a handful. And of all the decks that needed to be cleaned up, this was certainly one of them, because the Vieville is notoriously like, and this Peterson version is considered to be like cleaned up, you know, from the facsimiles. So there are some facsimiles that are just a complete mess. And it's hard to kind of see, you know, the images. So, well, they're not, they're in a different order because the last deck I compared it with were, you know, in the Tarot de Marseille order. But anyway, that's kind of all I'm going to show you anyway. I'm just going to kind of go through the images quickly. Beautiful death card. Really, really love that. You can see, you know, Fama Soul, or Soul Fama, which means only fame, is completely backwards. So that sort of goes to the theory that, you know, they were copied, and the wood blocks were wiped out and so forth. I'm not going to get into any of that today. I just wanted to show you the cards. But it's very, very beautiful. A nice job. The pips look really good. The court cards look really nice. So, I mean, I'm very happy with it. I think it's a great reader's deck. All the information is going to be below if you're interested in this. Always love this King of Batons. So, you know, throughout the pips you see there's some writing on this card. I believe it just explains that in cups and coins, the lower number cards outrank the higher number cards. And then on the Ace of Coins, you have like a poem-like description of the trumps. There's the iconic Two of Coins. You know, this is all the Trump names or variations of the Trump names, but it's done in like a kind of a poetic or comical way, you know, an entertaining way. There's some theories about that, which I'm not going to get into. But, you know, it's a really cool deck. They did a nice job. Some of the extras it came with, because I mentioned it came with some extras, was a pin. Now I have the Convair version of this pin. And I think this is really cool. This is the Vieville version based on the 1650 Jaques Vieville Tarot. And it also came, and they have a whole bunch of pins in their shops, and they have socks and all kinds of, they really do have a cool shop. And this was sent to me too, which Will said he basically created for himself because he really wanted it. It's the Seal of Solomon. I think the 4th and 5th Pentacle of Mercury, or they're called. I don't know which one's which. I don't really know much about Solomonic magic. If you're into this sort of thing, these are like, you know, sigils, magic sigils with certain types of power. All that is explained in the QR code. If you just click on that, you can read all about it. But really interesting, you know. And I do appreciate them sending this to me. So next, let's see, on the 20th, this coming Sunday, I will be interviewing Jack Chanek, who is one of the Llewellyn authors of one of the newer beginner tarot books. That, you know, and he also is an interesting character, somebody I'd like to talk to. So he's going to be on my channel next week, hopefully, you know, on the 20th. And then the week after that, I have Alejandro Rosen, who is going to be coming on to talk about his newest project in collaboration with Artisan Tarot, actually, and Stephen Bright, who's doing the book. It's called Tarot of Ambiguities, something like that, Tarot Day Ambiguities. And a really, really beautiful deck, but I'm excited to have him on. Plus, he's just a very interesting guy. I've followed his work for quite some time, and I spoke to him today at length for, you know, a long time. We had a nice conversation, and so we'll be meeting next week. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. There's the train horn chasing me away, and all the information will be below. Until next time, everybody, love and peace. Bye-bye.